Morning, everyone. Shannon with Apogee of the Moon, and I am bringing you a weekly forecast for February 1st through February 7th. And so I do want to talk about the energy, but I also want to talk about coming off the back end of this full moon. Super intense, super crazy, super wild, super shocking, both on, what the perception would be positive and the perception would be negative. So just super intense, all kinds of feels, all kinds of things. But the forecast would be February 1st is Happy Litha for those that are pagans that celebrate Litha or Bridget's Day. The sun will be squaring Mars on February 1st, and Venus will be entering Aquarius and throwing down with all the planets in Aquarius. We're going to have so much fun. On February 6th, Venus will be coming conjunct Saturn. The sun will trine the North Node, and Venus will also square Uranus on that same day. So there's not a lot of exact aspects going on, but a lot of build up to some different things that are going on. So yeah, Venus throwing down with the Aquarius peeps starting on February 1st. So what I want to talk about is coming off the back end of this full moon. Literally, this full moon in Leo, we were probably hovering around the 20, 25, 30 degree mark in terms of like just the temperature. I mean, we've gotten snow, we've gotten cold, we've gotten down into the teens, but nothing like just after this full moon. Full moon came exact at around 2 o'clock on the 28th, right? Yep, 2:16 on the 28th. Literally today, as I'm recording this, it is the 29th. We are sitting at 0 degrees Fahrenheit here where I live. And it's funny that when you pay attention and you watch the different things that go on, you really get a feel that, nature definitely has its set cycles and what they mean. So coming off the back end of this full moon, this is called the cold moon for anybody that doesn't know. Cold moon, wolf moon, I believe. But we are also in what is called the dead of winter. In the middle of Aquarius season, right? We're at the halfway point between the winter solstice and the spring equinox. So it's literally the coldest part of the year. It is when the temperatures drop and, ice fishermen come out if you're in the northern hemisphere. So it's cold. And we're going to be looking at going down into the negatives. I know the Midwest in the United States gets super cold. They like it below 40 or 50 degrees. But here in the Northeast, sometimes, I mean, we've had negative 40, we've had negative 60. Wind chill gets even colder than that. Don't go outside longer than 5 minutes, you'll freeze something off. So on February 1st, coming up, we have the sun squaring Mars, and then Venus will be entering Aquarius. So the exact pass of the sun square Mars, under normal circumstances, the sun squaring Mars is very productive and very goal oriented. But Mars is still in that wide conjunction with Uranus, and the sun is still pretty close, between Jupiter. I mean, it's still really close to Jupiter, but it's still within kind of orb of Saturn. And then, Mercury retrograde, full swing this week, moving towards the sun and Jupiter. So, with all of that said, this can see some really great movement in terms of, being driven and goal oriented. But at the same time, with Mercury retrograde, there's this mental game, this mental anxiety that's going to be going on, that's going to have you reevaluating the path forward and or how to maneuver through some different things and different energies. Don't go at it too hard, because Mars is a very interesting planet. It's a planet of action, it's a planet of willpower, but it's also a planet of very cutting, very sharp, very inflammatory, right? So it can be really intense, passionate conversations about something that you truly love, or it can be those huge blow up, you're just going to tear someone down argument, right? Like that's Mars, that it can go one way or the other. So just be careful, watch for inflammation in the body, watch for, headaches or overactive mind, you know what I mean? Or um, like, uh, like headaches or like just pressure and pain and things like that. Um, or even cuts to the face or, the throat, jaw, this area. Just be careful of this area. Also, because it is this area, watch the words that you're speaking and make sure that you're not unduly cutting someone down just because. So there is that. But it can also be very passionate and very, on the positive end, getting things done. Um, you know, with the sun squaring Mars, if you're feeling fired up, take it out on a HIIT workout, take it out on like doing some push-ups, doing some sit-ups, just get physical and really ground it down, because Mars in Taurus, you can really ground it down into the physical experience. So anything with high energy, short bursts to get your blood pumping and then wind down and stretch. Don't cause arguments just for the sake of causing arguments, or proving that you're right. I have Sun square Mars in my natal chart. I'm guilty of that. So my husband hates it too, because when I know I'm right and I know I'm right and I know I'm right, he has a hard time with me. I'll put that out there. That's fine. We have an interesting dynamic, him and I. So the Sun square Mars can serve a large dose of ego, right? Also on this day, Venus is entering Aquarius and throwing down with those planets in Aquarius. So Venus in Aquarius, you have to look at like what the sign Aquarius is. So it's the future thinker, it's the scientist, it's the rebel without a cause, well, maybe with a cause, the humanitarian, the revolutionary. Venus is a planet of love, of relationship, of finance, of money. And also, she rules Taurus, right? So, which is a fixed sign. So, Aquarius is a fixed sign. That's pretty good for her to be there. She also rules Libra, which again, there is, similarities. Air sign, Libra, Aquarius. Very good, because if you're a Libra ascendant, this is your 5th house, right? If you're an Aquarius ascendant, Libra is your 9th house. So it's very nice energy. She's, she might be squaring, her one of her own signs, but she's also in trine with one of the other signs that she rules, right? So now that she is adding to the stellium in Aquarius, she will be moving through here pretty quickly, hitting all the planets except for the sun, right? So I was looking ahead at this because I wanted to make sure that I knew when they were going to when she was going to conjunct with the sun. It is a feminine planet. So that won't come exact until March 26th. And when I was moving forward through trying to see when they were going to come conjunct the sun and Venus, sneak peek going forward, things really start to take a different turn. There's a lot of sextiles, there's some trines going on. So it definitely looks nicer. I saw some, some inconjuncts and some, semi-sextiles. Semi-sextiles aren't so bad, but they can cause, an imbalance, if you will. But that being said, Venus in Aquarius, conjuncting all the other planets except for the sun, and, squaring Uranus and Mars, it really could be beneficial to throw your lot in with a group of people. It could be really beneficial for you to just in general with Venus and Aquarius, with, Saturn, Jupiter, and Mercury, even with Mercury retrograde, that there's almost like, how do I want to say this? There's almost like a soothing balm with Venus, I feel, with as she enters Aquarius, where everything's been really tense and out of control and kind of crazy, and things are going sideways and things are kind of getting crazy. I really feel like, while yes, that may still be the case, her influence might be a little, almost like a little more soothing. I'm going to say that. I don't know. We'll see as she moves through Aquarius. So moving on to the 6th, right? Because we don't have a lot of aspects this week, but we do have some that, would be considered intense. Venus does come into her first conjunction with the planets in Aquarius, Saturn. And, while she does hit all the planets in conjunctions and squares, except for the sun, obviously we have to wait till Aries season for that. Venus conjunct Saturn is not a flamboyant, over the top kind of conjunction. It's more subdued than that. So it's almost like having Venus in Capricorn. It's almost like a continuation of that energy, right? Because Saturn does rule Capricorn. It has those restrictions, those limitations, those hard boundaries, but it's very practical, it's very grounded, it's very dedicated, it's very diligent in relationship. And while yes, this can be melancholy, with relationship, or feeling maybe like, not that nobody loves you, but that like you don't have all the love that you necessarily need. Like it's very much more grounded, very much more practical. So while there's not going to be any like wild overt demonstrations of affection, there can be a practical application in relation to others and what they need and what they want. um you know but also in Aquarius, it's that group association. Like it's being very practical, very grounded, and offering support to the group in a very practical, methodical way with the conjunction to Saturn. That makes sense if I'm explaining it correctly. Hopefully I'm I'm having a really hard time. I'm having a really hard time talking and expressing my words in the right way with this Mercury starting to station. It's stationing exactly, like literally like 3 degrees away from my descendant. So I'm having a really hard time getting the words out when I'm trying to do something in relation to others. Um, my brain is fine, but getting the words out is the hard part. So, um, you know, who are you in relation to the group? What skill sets are you bringing to the table to contribute to the whole and the implementation of the future right now? So I do like this energy. And so I did have some things going on behind the scenes, but the cat was let out of the bag, which I'm glad it wasn't me, because I'm one where I'm kind of secretive anyway. I don't like to overshare things. But I am going to be taking a position with Heather Elin. She is one of my favorite astrologers, and one of my first mentors, actually. I started following her several years ago when she was on Astrolog's channel, and she pointed me in the direction of some courses and whatnot. So that was very, very helpful. And I will be taking a TA position with her, working with her on her upcoming launch of her new uh, foundational astrology courses. So I'm super excited about that. And working with the women from the Lilith Society, maybe I'm biting off more than I can chew. I don't know, but I'm really, really excited. And I'm trying really hard to contain myself, because usually I'm bouncing around and jumping up and down because, Leo, right? Ascendant. I do get kind of childlike when I get really excited about things. which is what all my friends love about me, because I'm like that forever, like child heart cheerleader, excited when things are over the moon. So yeah, so plug there. Sign up for her courses. They are phenomenal and very practical. I mean, she's a Virgo sun, you know, and she's Scorpio ascendant. So she is very focused, diligent, on point with what she delivers to people. So I love her classes. I literally I support her work all the way. I buy all of her courses when they come out. So she is very, very good. So back to the astrology. Let's see. I just figured I'd plug that in there. I'm not very good at marketing, as you can see. So on the same day that Venus is coming conjunct Saturn, the sun comes into a trine with the North Node. So while the nodes have moved on from where they were during eclipse season, you know, and we are out of eclipse season, and out of the orb of eclipse season, it's still, you know, it's still the sun communicating with all things incoming, right? It's still very future oriented in Aquarius, but this can also be very karmic, because any kind of aspect in any kind of aspects that are made to the nodes, especially by the sun or the moon as they're traversing through the zodiac, even if it's not during eclipse season, because the sun and the moon are affected by the nodes themselves, it's very karmically related to what is coming in and what is being let go of. Okay, so around this day or during this week, as the sun comes into orb and then separates, this can be very karmic events that occur and bring you towards what it is that you're manifesting for your future. Also, the last aspect of the day, though, will be Venus coming into a square with Uranus. And the fact that Venus, so looking at this, like, I know what the usual aspect is with Venus square Uranus, but at the risk of, you know, sounding like a crazy person, they're being mutually receptive, even though they're in square, because Venus is in Uranus's home sign and Uranus is in Venus's home sign. So while the square can cause drama and friction, arguments, disputes, or heat things up and be very shocking and out of the blue, you know, they are both in each other's signs. So that says that maybe getting into those weird and different and relational situations that are kind of out of the box could work out to your benefit, and to the benefit of the group as well. So it's a win-win for everyone. And for me, like, just because I have a stellium in Libra, like, win-win for everyone, that's where you want to be. It needs to be just, it needs to be good, it needs to be right. Everybody makes out, everybody, you know, is on equal playing field. So there is all of that. And so now what we will do is we will, if I can find my screen and see me, there we go. I will share my screen and we will go through all 12 signs. Because I did not share my screen. Oh my goodness. I can't believe I did that. You guys had to stare at my ugly mug all this time. What the heck? All right. So Venus for Aries and for Aries rising, Venus in Aquarius squaring Mars. Really? She's not squaring Mars. Huh. I wrote that wrong. Chalk it up to Mercury retrograde. So Venus moving into Aquarius is moving, adding, you know, some Venusian things to your 11th house. And this is, you know, this could see you, well, okay. I'm kind of thrown off by this. I don't like this. Venus moving into Aquarius into your 11th house. So what this can see is, this can see new relationships popping up with friend circles. This can see, you know, new finances coming in as well, because she rules your 7th house and your 2nd house. But also, she will be coming conjunct Saturn, which is the ruler of your 10th house. So this, for Aries rising people specifically, this could be maybe a new boss is coming in for you. Maybe you're getting a new boss at work. Or maybe you're changing jobs and you have a new boss, right? So that's Venus coming into Aquarius conjuncting Saturn, 7th house relationship, 2nd house money. The other thing that could be going on with the square to Uranus in your 2nd house, this could see a boost to your finances, because like I said, they are mutually receptive, because they are in each other's signs. So even though it's a it's a square, it could it could cause something very shocking to come about, especially with Venus, your planet of ruling money and relationships. So maybe too, this could be a boost to your partner's finances as well, because it does rule your 7th house. Apparently my cat is deciding that he's going to go nuts. So yeah, with Venus coming conjunct Saturn, this could be this could even be new friendships coming in, that are very grounded, that are very long lasting, and that will benefit your career in some way, as well as benefit that bottom dollar in that 2nd house for you. For Taurus and for Taurus rising, Venus moving into Aquarius, Venus is moving into your 10th house. So there's definitely some new things developing with your career. There's me that I copied and pasted this whole thing and it's wrong. So Venus is not squaring Mars, the sun is squaring Mars. So apparently I decided to jumble that all up in my brain. Mercury retrograde. So the Venus coming into Aquarius for Taurus rising people, especially, this is your chart ruler. So coming into the 10th house, you yourself could be much more visible in your career. You yourself could have almost a renewal of sorts in terms of how it is that you're known, or what it is that you're known for, or maybe you're launching something and you're changing what it is that you're known for, and you're releasing something that's going to be very long lasting as she comes conjunct Saturn. But it's also you being very shocking, right? Because you have Uranus in your 1st house, depending on where your ascendant degree is. But it's going to be, this could be you initiating a career change, and it's going to be very long lasting, and it's going to be very intense, and it's going to be beneficial in the long run for you. This could also see bosses taking a liking to you, maybe not romantically, right? But it could be that maybe you could also get a promotion suddenly at work, right? Because Venus also rules your 6th house of showing up in service of your daily routines, of your work, what it is that you do, right? So for Taurus rising people especially, this could see you getting promoted to work, and then maybe you're going to also have subordinates under you as well, or maybe you need to hire someone. There is that as well. So for Gemini and for Gemini rising, lots of disruptions, I'm telling you. For Gemini rising, Venus moving into Aquarius is moving into your 9th house. So for you, Venus rules your 12th and your 5th. So this could see, for some Gemini risings, this could see you taking a trip to that has something to do with children, or something to do with joy, or something to do, taking a trip that's out of the blue, that you have to go somewhere, you have to get or you have to go, like maybe you have to go to a hospital because that is 12th house as well. Or this could be you having to take a trip just to get away from the world in general, like you need to like vacate the premises and just go. But with that being said, Venus is coming conjunct Venus is coming conjunct Saturn. Saturn rules your 8th house of death, taxes, inheritances, joint finances, but also very healing, very, this could see you taking a trip to, interesting. This could see you taking a trip to maybe see someone that you haven't seen in a very long time as well. For some Gemini rising people. With Venus in square to Uranus, though, like I I keep coming back to the fact that they're in each other's signs, and I know this happens every year, but the fact that there is such focus on both of these signs, on on Aquarius and on Taurus, I can't help but feel that this is definitely something that is mutually beneficial, just because they're in each other's signs. Uranus and Venus are in each other's signs, and they're making aspects to each other. They're having a really shocking, intense conversation. But it might not necessarily be in the negative, shocking, and intense conversation. It might be something that's actually very beneficial, that's out of the blue, that's, oh my God, yes, I need to go do this. I need to take this trip because this is going to help me, in the long term about what it is that I'm trying to do out in the world and find my joy again, right? Because Venus does rule the 5th house as well for Gemini rising people. Sorry. This could also see you taking a course on spirituality. This could see you taking a course, signing up for something that you're really super passionate about, that you need to learn, that you want to learn, finding a teacher, finding a guru, finding someone that's going to teach you all about these 12th house things, maybe help you out with your dreams, or any revelations that you've been coming to. This could also see you just shifting your perspective in a much more pragmatic, grounded way, especially with that conjunction to Saturn upcoming, and really starting to hone in on what it is that you truly value and how you see the world around you, right? Shifting that focus, that perception that, maybe the world isn't such a bad place. Maybe, it's not such a bad place. It's actually a good place, right? That could be for some Gemini rising people as well. For Cancer and for Cancer rising people, Venus entering Aquarius is happening in your 8th house. So Venus rules your 11th house, hence the square aspect that she's making to Uranus later in the week. But she also rules your 4th house of your home and what you come home to in your family. So Venus moving into your 8th house could see some Cancer people starting the process, especially with the square to Uranus. I mean, Uranus does rule your 8th house as well. Could see you starting the process of making those acquaintances and those friends for something to do with your home later on down. This could be a meeting of sorts to do something with a home business, possibly. Um, but with that grounded, with that grounded energy of, this could also see you taking out a loan with your partner, or something to do with finances with your partner, because the 7th house is Capricorn, and Venus will be coming conjunct to Saturn. This could definitely see you maybe taking out a loan, or maybe seeing a boost to your finances too, of your joint finances, because of the dedication and the practical application that you've been doing for your career over the long term. Excuse me. So it could see something like that. But the Venus square to Uranus, I mean, this is mutually, to me, this is mutually receptive. Maybe I'm coming at it the wrong way, but I really feel like it won't be It'll be grounded, it'll be practical, it'll be what you need in order to take those next steps and move forward, especially in terms of, you know, healing, trauma, wounds, psychology, you know, astrology, magic, occult practices. Maybe there's somebody that comes in from the outside for Cancer rising people that really helps them understand the concept of, you know, what magic truly is. Not that Cancers need that, um, but maybe a new friend that is someone of an astrological nature, even astrology or you know, psychology. Even there's a new acquaintance that could come in, a new friend or a new group that you decide that you're going to join. For some Cancer rising people, for Leo and for Leo rising, I'm gonna have to hurry up here. Sorry, everybody. For Leo and for Leo rising, Venus coming into Aquarius is coming into your 7th house. So Venus rules not only your midhaven, but she also rules your 3rd house of how you think, how you speak, how you communicate, your local community, your travel, your cousins, things like that. And Venus coming into Aquarius in your 7th house could see, you know, it could even see like beneficial things happening for you. Oh yeah, happening for you in your career. There could be a boost. You know, she's going to be in square with Uranus, but Uranus rules your 7th house. So coming into a square with Uranus, it could be a shocking turn of events that has to do with your contractual obligations. And it's not just going to boost, you know, it's going to boost your maybe your clientele, but it's also going to give you that boost in what it is that you're known for. It's going to really help to blow that up, and those shocking, you know, shocking turns and sharp squares going to a different direction than where it is that you've been going and what it is that you've been known for out in the world. Venus is also coming into a conjunction with Saturn, and so, you know, I know that I wrote this wrong and I'm really sorry. Do not pay attention to the words on here. It's driving me crazy, but I don't have time to change it. So I'm just going to leave it and leave it, even though it drives me crazy. So, you know, Venus coming conjunct your 6th house ruler, this could see, you know, this could see help as well, coming from an outside source, someone that you are involved with, to help you understand what it is that you need to change up in your daily routine. Or this could see you helping someone else as well, you know, because 3rd house is community, 10th house is career. This could see you helping people understand things at a very practical, pragmatic level, and understand, you know, what they need for themselves or what they do for themselves as well. But this could also be someone coming in, some type of partnership or some type of relationship that's going to be very practical, that's going to be very grounded, that's going to be very long lasting, and it's going to really help you change, you know, that 10th house area of your life over the long term, because Saturn is time and it is very long lasting and very, you know, grounded, practical. I like Saturn. Saturn's cool. Anyway, so that's for Leo and for Leo rising. For Virgo and for Virgo rising, and I do want to apologize because when I was typing this out this morning at like 5 o'clock, it was very early, and apparently I can't think at 5 o'clock in the morning anymore. So Venus moving into Aquarius is moving into your 6th house. She's joining all the other planets that are in your 6th house right now. And she's also, you know, going to be in square with the planets in your 9th house. So there could be things for Virgo rising people there could be benefit coming in with that Venus, right? With Venus moving into your 6th house, this is Venus adding her energy, because Venus rules your 2nd house of your finances. And it also rules your 9th house, you know, so of travel, of education and things like that. So this could be a benefit to you. This could be a boost to your finances and your daily routines in a very practical, grounded way. And even with Mercury retrograde here in your sixth house, there's revision that needs to happen. But with Venus moving in and, conjunct Saturn, this could see, especially, either your children, a hobby, something that you're taking to that next level, in terms of, what it is that you're doing. And so this could see you being very practical and very grounded with a hobby and making it a business and having that be part of your daily routine as well. But this could also see you switching things up and really focusing on getting things finalized and situated for either a new course that you want to take or a new course that you want to teach. So some Virgo risings are at different levels of development, depending on how their chart is set up. This could see very practical application of, someone coming in, especially fifth house. Venus does rule your fifth house and it does rule your ninth house. So something that's you're very passionate about, something that you really feel very strongly about, that has great benefit and great value for you. It could see you really honing in on what it is that you need to do and how you need to structure what it is you're doing on the daily to be able to either teach this course or to be able to get this other education that you need. So there's that. For Libra and for Libra rising, Venus moving into Aquarius is really nice. This is your chart ruler coming into your fifth house, throwing down with all those other planets that are in your fifth house. So Venus coming conjunct Saturn in your fifth, and in your fifth house. You know, Saturn rules your fourth house. So this could see something very practical going on with your children, something very grounded. Maybe you're deciding that you're going to have children and you're setting the nursery up and you and your partner are getting things situated. In square with that eighth house, maybe your partner's finances aren't necessarily, maybe he's gotten a real big boost or she's gotten a real big boost, or, I don't know anymore, but maybe there's a really big boost to the finances that are going on, or there is a deficit of finances going on. So now it's having to restructure, with that eighth house. But the fact that Venus does rule your eighth house and Uranus does rule your fifth house, there could be some very shocking, very, out of the blue kind of conversations that happen about your home or that happen at home that are beautiful and very healing for you. So that is for Libra. For Scorpio and Scorpio rising, I know that the words are wrong. I completely mistyped everything and jumbled everything up in my brain this morning. Venus moving into Aquarius is moving into your fourth house, offering support. So Venus does rule your 12th house and your 7th house. So this could even be like a past karmic relationship coming in to the home, or someone coming into the home. This could even be your partner, because you have Uranus in your 7th house right now. This could be your partner coming home and having like a really crazy conversation that they've decided that they're going to up and leave their job and they're going to just be completely independent, and they've made the plan, and they're, because Venus conjunct Saturn, very grounded, very practical in the fourth house. Or this could see you and your partner taking renovations to your house, something very grounded, very practical that you need to do, but it's going to be, it's going to be very disruptive. Maybe your partner is going to be, your partner could have a disruptive schedule, and so they're in, they're out, and they're not able to help with doing whatever it is that needs to be done on the home front. But I think this could be very beneficial for some Scorpio rising people, especially because, Venus and Uranus are in mutual reception. Happens every year, but at the same time, as Uranus moves through Taurus, we're not going to have this same conjunction that we're having right now with all these planets down in your fourth house. So there's a lot going on at home, very disruptive, especially with the square to Uranus with that 7th house. So you have a lot of contractual obligations that can be very disruptive, but very beneficial long term, if that makes sense. because also Saturn does rule your third house of communication. So there could be some very out of the blue communication going on, and very shocking, but very good at the same time with Venus there. For Sagittarius and for Sagittarius rising people, this is happening in your, Venus is entering your third house. And so this is thinking, speaking, communicating, your local community, how it is that you communicate as well. But this can also see, because Saturn, she is coming into a conjunction with Saturn, this can see very grounded, very practical efforts taken to get a boost to the finances, to be able to change up your schedule in terms of what it is that you're doing on a daily basis. And this could see, because your chart ruler is also in Aquarius right now, this could be you taking the effort, taking the action, being very grounded, very practical, or using your money on something that is very grounded, very practical for your long-term goals, as well as because Mercury is also here going retrograde, this is also your partnerships. So maybe finding someone that you can partner with to be able to make the changes that you need to make, as well. So with this going on, it's going to be beneficial. This is also writing and speaking and communicating. So maybe this week would be a really good time for you to, if you're writing a book, to, write that book and get it done. There is that as well. For Capricorn and Capricorn rising, Venus entering your second house with your chart ruler, this and Venus ruling your fifth house as well as your 10th house, this could see a change for you, and you taking control and making changes to what it is that you're known for in the world and your finances themselves. With that square to the fifth, I mean, this could be a gamble. If you take a gamble, you might win some, you might lose some, but you might win some too, right? Especially because Venus and Uranus are mutually receptive, and the fifth house does have a tendency to be a gambling house, playing around with money and whatnot. So with the square to Uranus conjunction to Saturn coming up next week, this could definitely see Capricorn rising people, especially, taking chances on what it is that they, maybe taking out of the blue, deciding that they're going to just forego their responsibility. Yeah, that maybe not, but maybe with Uranus in your fifth house, you never know. So taking, saying F the responsibilities and deciding that you're going to go and you're going to have fun, you're going to play, and you're going to do something fun and enjoyable with someone else. So that could be for some Capricorn people. For Aquarius and Aquarius rising, Venus moving into your sign is really good, because Venus coming through your ascendant is very much, it makes you desirable. It makes you, people notice you, you have a more Venusian quality about you when Venus comes through your ascendant. And also Venus does rule your fourth house, and Uranus is in your fourth house. So they're mutually receptive, even in square. And Venus coming into a conjunction with Saturn, which rules your 12th house, this could see you taking very grounded, very practical efforts to heave ho an old addiction and to really focus on your ground. That fourth house is that ground, that root, where you come from, right? What it is that you want to come home to. It could see very shocking, surprising. Maybe you're being very shocking and surprising at home, and something comes through and offers support, because Venus also, Venus rules your fourth house, and it also rules your ninth house. So maybe someone from afar comes through and has the communications with you that's really shocking, that adds value to what it is that is going on behind the scenes, for you, and for and also like your partner too, because it is going to be coming into a square with Mars. So you know, what it is that's going on behind the scenes. This is a lot of home on the home front. So there could be some, you know, with Venus, it could be very beneficial. And for Pisces and for Pisces rising, Venus entering Aquarius is happening in your 12th house, and she's going to be squaring Uranus in your 3rd house. So this you know, this can be very shocking, very out of the blue communications, especially because you're having this reset with this reset with Venus coming through, or Venus, this reset with the planets in your 12th house. This is you being pulled away from the world and behind the scenes and more spiritual practices. But with Venus here, Venus rules, you know, Venus rules your 3rd house, and Venus also rules your 8th house. So there's definitely something to do with occult practices coming through, you know, communicating about occult practices, communicating about different things, and like astrology, psychology. You know, there could be some very interesting communications. Maybe you have some really intense dreams that come through for you and really affect what it is that you're thinking and you're speaking about as well. So there is that. There's also you know, Venus coming into your 12th house, conjunct your 11th house ruler. This could see, yeah, I mean, for Pisces rising people, this could see a new beginning for you, you know, with joining up with other groups of people that have the same spiritual mindset as you and the same spiritual practices, or the same way of communicating what it is that they see. Because Pisces is, I love Pisces. I have a Pisces moon. So, you know, it's really that more Piscean of seeing where everything is connected and where everything comes together, even if it doesn't make rational sense. It's very intuitive, and it's very much seeing, like one way that I can see is like explain how Pisces sees things, especially because it's that 12th house energy right now, is, you know, the mountain lakes, or they're deep lakes, but it's like they're crystal clear, and you can see all the way to the bottom. You can see all the fish, you can see all the things, you can see all the leaves, you can see everything, and you can see how everything works in cohesiveness together beneath the surface, right? That's more of that Piscean kind of energy. So that's definitely what I see happening for Pisces and for Pisces rising, is being able to communicate what it is that you're seeing out in the world. So that is it. I hope you liked this video. You know, I hope it was helpful. I hope it made sense, because my brain is not functioning properly right now at all. So yeah, have a great week. Enjoy, and I'll see you next week. Bye.